Lutz, and welcome back. We are we missed a week or two. Myself and Tina had a couple of technical issues that were unforeseen and insurmountable. Yeah, kind of like my butchering of insurmountable, the word. So, what is going on? We are in week 11. Holy crap. That means there's only this week and next week in the regular season, and then we have our 3-week playoff. So, as tradition, just to get it out of the way, playoff rules. You all know them. Once you are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, you may not trade with anybody that is still in playoff contention. There's that. Loser's bracket does not start in week 13. As you all know, the bottom bracket has a bye that week, and then we'll go forward in week 14 with that normal one. As for the winner's bracket, of course you all know you start in week 13, and two people, lucky bastards, get a bye. So, what we are going to be doing is pretty much running down this week, next week, and seeing who needs what to happen to get in the playoffs, who needs what to happen to stay in the playoffs, and what all is on the line. So, without further ado, let's go. This week I played Johnny, Estes plays Sean, James plays Cliff, Joe, Seth, Matt, and Ashton. So, good times are on the forefront here. So, next week, I play Matt, Sean plays Seth, Cliff plays Johnny, James plays Joe, and Ashton plays Estes. So what does that all mean? We spit hot fire through that like Dylon, 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 and Dylon. But Ashton and Sean are currently tied atop the leaderboard at 7 and 3. How the hell that happened? I will explain to you later. Estes, Seth tied at 6 and 4, then myself and Cliff at 5 and 5, and if the playoffs started today, which they do not, that is the cutoff point for the playoffs. So James, Matt at 4 and 6, and Joe and Johnny down there at 3 and 7. No bueno. So at this point, there is literally no one, and I do mean literally no one, technically eliminated from playoff contention. And by that I mean we're cutting her close on a couple of you guys. In fact, you know, Johnny, look it over. It may not be possible for you. But we will start at the top. Ashton, Sean, if you guys win, by virtue of games and who is playing who, most notably, if you guys are already in. Like, there is literally no way for you to get out of your playoff spot. However, you are not guaranteed a bye by any means. So, as for myself and Tina, let me be the first two to welcome you to the 2016 playoffs. Estes, Seth, same for you guys, except there is still possibilities that you guys will not make it in the playoffs. If you all played each other, you know, then good deal. But technically there is a possibility, just by the nature of the beast, that Matt and James could win both of theirs. They don't play each other, so they could win this week and next week, and myself or Cliff could technically win one of 2 games and have a tiebreaker over you. Myself and Cliff, well, basically we need to win one. For sure. For sure need to win one. Estes said, basically if you win one, you are in. Because, yeah, mathematically, if you win one, you're in. Myself and Cliff, we need to win one. For sure. Technically, it would be possible if we lose both. But it would take a lot of luck. Mostly the people below us would all have to lose, and they would have to suck as to not pass us in points scored. Joe, Johnny, plain and simple, you guys went in, you got to win them both. And even then, you need a little help, because you are 2 games behind, so you must win 2, myself and Cliff, James and Matt. Basically, you have to win 1 more than myself and Cliff. And which, not 1 more, but you have to win as many. Like, you have to get to 5 wins, or there's no possibility at all. And then, us that are already at 5 wins, and those at 4 and 6, if they get a win, You have to mathematically beat them in points 4 in order to get the tiebreaker. So, lots going on there. It's mayhem, but a lot, well, I say a lot, pretty much, we're going to get a very good idea of the playoff field after this week, and what is not possible. So, standing-wise, let's just take a look. I'm going to throw out some numbers here. If I told you that the person in the league that has scored the 5th most amount of points, where ranking-wise would you believe they should be? And if you guessed 9th, you are a cruel individual, in which case is what has happened to Joe. 5th in points scored and is 9th on the friggin' list. Tied for 9th, if you want to call it tied for 9th. He wins by tiebreakers there, but now if I told you that some other person in the league was number 8 in points scored, where would you guess they should be? And if you guess number 2, you are also you are far more involved in looking at the numbers on the website than you should be. By should be, I mean only as from a personal standpoint of I'm sure there are other things that you could be doing with your time other than, looking at fantasy stats. But I respect it, and as a commissioner, I love it. But Sean, he's 8th in points scored, but how is he 7-3, you might ask? Because in the terms of points scored against, he is 9th. All the way down to the bottom, or 2nd, depending on how you look at it. Basically, there's only one person in this league that has had fewer points scored against him. I can't remember who that is off the top of my head, because he's the only one I wrote down that had points against that low. Mostly because everyone else was pretty much the same. Except for Johnny, which I believe was just getting hammered. And sometimes that's the nature of the beast. Tina, I don't know if I've got anything. I think this is the last week of bye weeks. No. There's a couple more left, but they have the bye-pocalypse and all the hell that kicked off with that stuff's over, at least from half the league being on byes now, so roster composition is a little bit easier to field a legal team. So, with no one technically eliminated yet, glad there's not any tanking, and, all that good stuff. So, for the playoff push, we're there. We're giving it the old heave-ho. I wish all of you all the best of luck, and as customary, not Seth, and not who I'm playing this week, which happens to be Johnny. So, I do wish that your first year you could, not be guilty by association, and that only as far as carrying the Chop name, which seems to still be a lingering effect. I want so badly for you to succeed, but my playoff hopes rest on this victory this week. So, maybe you can lose this one and then catch fire and just blaze through the loser bracket. Well, I say blaze, all you have to do is win a game and you're safe. So, hey, it's possible. You never know. Don't stop believing. Don't lose the faith. So, for myself and Tina, everybody else, peace out. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, because I'm sure I won't talk to most of you, and that will be by choice. Those of you that I do see, I will enjoy the time together. So, if you are one of those, I will see you soon. If you are not, I don't really care. So, hey, peace out, Girl Scouts. Deuces. Happy week 11.